Hello, I'm Lorraine Kelly from LozsArt.com, and this is my first video using ArtRage. I'm going to colour a drawing that I've previously done. So first of all I need to open it up, and I think I will colour one from my birds, and this one here will be a good one. So it will open the file. My computer is slow, I'm using Windows 10. So I have to be careful how many layers I use, because I find that because my computer isn't the most powerful, if I have too many layers here, when I import an image to the file, sometimes it will delete a layer. So what I will do now is save as, so I don't lose the original file if I muck up things. So it was painting 19, so I might call it 19.1 and save. Now, if anything goes wrong, I haven't lost the original file. I also recommend saving regularly, as ArtRage does not save automatically in case you don't want it to overwrite files. So I do strongly recommend saving regularly. Now what I will do here is you can click on that icon there, merge layer down, and then that obviously merges those two layers together. I'll do that for all of these layers, because I know I don't need to do any alterations to any of the layers because the painting's finished. So now this here was what I used as a guide for making my mandala. So as a background image, I don't need that anymore, so I can delete that one. So delete layer. So now I'm just down, this was the original image that I traced over to give me the bird. Don't need him anymore, so I can delete that. You will see that it also has a background image of a grid. I don't need that anymore because I often use that to help me with my drawing. So if you go to View, Grids, and then click the Show Grid, it's gone. You will also notice that the background is transparent, which I like to use for when I'm publishing my colouring in books so that there's no background image. And I save it as a PNG image file to show you that it's file save painting as, and then, don't want to save painting as, I want to export image file. You can save it as a JPEG or whatever other file you type. I always use JPEG or PNG if I want a transparent background. So I'm not saving now, so I can cancel. So now I want to choose a canvas background to give a bit of texture to the painting. So View, Canvas Settings. Now, I could just, if I just wanted plain white, I could just bring that up. As you see though, I've already got a previous setting loaded. If I wanted to change that, I click on No Name here, and then Canvas, and all different ones are here. Some I have loaded in from the ArtRage forums. But I think I'll stick with this grainy one, the one that I have there. It seems quite interesting. See how it turns out. So if we have a look, you can see it's got a grainy texture in the background. And if I use a chalk, that's very large. You see, it gives an interesting effect. So edit, undo, because I don't want those. Scroll it back down. So I'm happy with that, and I can begin drawing. Now I don't want to draw over the original layer here, so I'll create a layer. Now because I'm colouring underneath, I don't want to go over the black lines, so I move this layer up so that it's on top. Then click here, it's highlighted green, so that's the layer I'm painting on. And so now when I paint, the black lines are still showing. If I have it up here, it hides it. Now blend modes that you use are also very important. The blend modes I normally use are either normal or multiply. Oh, that's my cat Django, he talks a lot, so just ignore him. So the other blend mode I often use is multiply. Multiply is good if you're wanting to do watercolour effects because you see all the colours underneath, so you can work like traditional watercolour. For this one, I'm thinking I'm using chalk, so I'll probably stick with normal, and I find that easy to work with if I'm doing a picture for print. Now, so to show you normal, if I go for chalk here, and then if I decide to put a completely different colour on top, you see it doesn't blend. If I change the blend mode to multiply, you get a different effect. Oh, why didn't that work? And then if I add another layer, and if I do yellow on top, that's on normal. See, that's with it on multiply, and that's with it on normal. So it's how the blend mode is how your layers interact with each other. For the moment, I think I'm going just to stick with normal because I don't want it to blend with my painting, my drawing underneath. So I'll just delete this layer because I don't need it. And I will just clear this layer. Now to choose my colours for the bird, I can use a reference image. So I can bring up the original image by clicking reference and then finding the bird that I used as a reference image. If I can find him. There he is, Firetail. Open him up. And then if I use the colour dropper here, you can just click on and it will give you the rough colour. It's not exact, I find, but it is a good starting point. And then I will want the lighter colour, so I'll just move down here, go on to chalk, and then I can put my colour on now. And then it's a good idea to save my colour, so add sample, and then I can name it light pink. Naming's useful if you're going to use a lot of colour samples that are similar, then you don't need to remember which one you did it for. Now, I'll show you some blending tips. Now, I'm going over the line here because when you blend often, I will use a hard wet blender. That's one of my favourites. I think it came with the program, or I may have downloaded it from a tutorial, I'm not sure. But I like using hard wet blender because it gives a more natural effect. Now, if I have it on the blending quite large, it will sometimes, see how it's going grey there? It's actually picking up the black line underneath. So that's why I go over the line so that I don't get grey or white in the painting like there. And then it's just an easy matter of erasing it to the line. So I don't bore you, I'll now put it on speed drawing, and I will just do a small section just to give you an idea of how I work. Thank you. It started to rain heavily and I've got a tin roof, so hopefully that's not too annoying for you. As I'm working with chalk, I would continue to do the bird in one layer because I like the way that chalk merges, blends together. I would, however, use the second layer for the mandala behind, and I'll show you why. If I add a layer, the new one's highlighted green, so that's the layer I'm working on. Let's say I decide to use an ink pen now and I wanted blue. If I colour in a section here and then accidentally go over, I can erase and the bird's still there. It has, because they're separate, it has no effect on the bird. And then if you're happy, once you're completed, you can merge the layers together or keep them separate. I think I'll leave this tutorial here for now. Next tutorial I'll look at how I use the multiply blend mode and how layers are very important for that to give you really good watercolour techniques and depth to your paintings. And I'll also show how I use overlays to add extra texture so that it doesn't look as digital. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please like if you have, and subscribe because I'll be doing some more. And if you have any positive tips for me, I'm happy to listen. Thank you.